It's back. Former President Donald J. Trump is once again making headlines, not with a rally, not with a tweet, but with what he's calling his big, beautiful bill. And if you think that's just a catchy slogan, think again. This bill, packed with 17 bold and controversial provisions, is being described by Trump's allies as a blueprint for restoring America. His critics, well, they're calling it everything from unconstitutional to unworkable. Either way, one thing is crystal clear. This isn't just another campaign promise, it's a legislative bombshell. But what exactly is in this bill? What's behind the headlines, the hype, and the heated debates, and most importantly, how could it affect you? Over the next few minutes, we're going to break it all down, provision by provision. From immigration reforms and tax shifts to censorship controls, border enforcement, and Social Security promises, we're diving deep into all 17 major points. We'll tell you what the bill says, what it means, and what impact it could have, not just on Washington, but on working-class Americans, small businesses, and families like yours. So whether you're a Trump supporter, a skeptic, or just someone trying to figure out what's going on in this crazy political landscape, stay tuned. This is one video you don't want to miss. Visual suggestion: quick cuts showing protesters, news clips, and headlines like "Bill sparks national debate." Then back to Trump smiling confidently at a podium. Let's get into it. Trump's big, bold, and yes, beautiful bill. The 17 provisions explained. Within hours of its announcement, Trump's new bill exploded across the internet and dominated newsrooms from coast to coast. CNN called it the most aggressive legislative push of Trump's political comeback. Fox News, they're hailing it as a bold return to American values. Supporters flooded social media with hashtags like #BigBeautifulBill and #MakeAmericaStrongAgain, calling it a long overdue move to restore law, order, and opportunity. One user wrote, "Finally, a president with a backbone again." But not everyone is cheering. Progressive leaders are slamming the bill as dangerous and deeply authoritarian. Civil rights groups have already vowed to fight several provisions. In court, protesters have hit the streets in New York, LA, and Chicago, demanding the bill be blocked before it gains traction. Visual suggestion: clip of peaceful protests. People holding signs like "Resist the bill," "Our rights matter," and then cut to interviews with Trump supporters praising the plan. Meanwhile, political analysts are split. Some say this bill is Trump's strongest move yet in reclaiming center stage in 2024. Others believe it's a strategic gamble, one that could either energize his base or alienate moderates who once voted red. No matter what side of the aisle you're on, one thing is clear: this bill has ignited a firestorm. It's bold, it's controversial, and it's forcing Americans to ask tough questions about the country's future. Visual suggestion: TV, split screen, Trump speaking on one side, angry congresswoman shouting on the other. So what exactly is in the bill that has people this fired up? Coming up, we start breaking down the 17 provisions, starting with the biggest promises and the boldest threats. All right, let's get into it, provision by provision. Starting with number 1, and it's a big one. Provision number 1, immigration reform. Trump's bill calls for the full reinstatement of border wall construction, plus a massive funding package for border security, surveillance drones, and federal agents. It also includes mandatory deportation for repeat offenders and a return to the Remain in Mexico policy for asylum seekers. Supporters say this will curb illegal immigration and restore order at the southern border. Critics argue it risks human rights violations and international backlash. Provision number 2, national voter ID law. This one's already sparking national debate. The bill proposes a federal mandate for photo ID in all elections, eliminating mail-in voting unless verified through biometric authentication. Proponents call it common sense election integrity. Opponents say it's voter suppression disguised as reform. Provision number 3, social media censorship ban. This provision aims to ban social media platforms from censoring political content, labeling it as digital free speech protection. It also opens up tech companies to lawsuits if they remove content without government-approved cause. Tech giants are, understandably, not happy. Provision number 4, tax cuts for middle class. The bill introduces a fresh round of tax cuts for households earning under $100,000 a year, alongside new deductions for small business owners and single parents. It's being called Trump's Main Street Relief Plan. Critics say it disproportionately benefits certain states while increasing the deficit. Provision number 5, Education Freedom Initiative. This provision proposes federal funding for school choice vouchers, allowing parents to redirect tax dollars toward private or charter schools. Supporters say it empowers families. Opponents fear it could defund public education. Visual suggestion: pause here with animated text. That's just the beginning. Provisions 6 to 12 coming up next. These are just the first 5 pieces of a massive political puzzle. Some call it a new vision for America, others a blueprint for division. But one thing's for sure, We've still got 12 more to go. Now let's move into the heart of the firestorm. Provisions 6 through 12. These are the ones making headlines, sparking protests, and dividing the nation. Provision number 6. Federal police expansion. The bill calls for the creation of a new federal policing task force, designed to assist local law enforcement in high-crime cities. It would also give expanded powers to existing federal agencies. Trump's camp says it's a crackdown on crime. Civil liberties groups, they're calling it a step toward federal overreach. Provision number 7. Ban on critical race theory in public schools. This provision seeks to prohibit the teaching of critical race theory in all federally funded schools, arguing it promotes division. Supporters claim it restores patriotic education. Opponents say it whitewashes American history. Provision number 8. Military funding surge. An immediate 15% increase in military spending, including weapons modernization, troop raises, and cyber warfare defense. It's one of the bill's biggest financial moves. Critics ask, where's the money coming from? Supporters call it essential for global dominance. Provision number 9. Media liability expansion. Under this, mainstream media outlets could be sued for spreading false information, especially on political issues. Free speech advocates warn this could backfire and silence journalism. Trump allies say it's long overdue. Provision number 10. Nationwide homelessness crackdown. Trump proposes the relocation of homeless populations from city centers into federally managed shelters or rehab programs. It's being framed as cleaning up America's streets, but critics say it targets the vulnerable without solving root problems. Provision number 11. China trade penalties, heavy tariffs, and trade restrictions aimed directly at China, including tech imports and pharmaceuticals. It's economic nationalism, but economists warn it could spark a trade war. Provision number 12. Abortion restrictions. Federal funding for abortion providers would be completely banned, and states would be encouraged to enforce stricter limits. This is one of the bill's most emotionally charged elements. Supporters call it pro-life progress. Opponents see it as an assault on women's rights. These provisions are bold, divisive, and impossible to ignore. But we're not done yet. 7 more remain. Could the final stretch contain the bill's biggest surprises? We've covered 12 of the 17 provisions, some shocking, some expected, all controversial. Now let's finish strong with the final 5. Provision number 13. American Jobs First Act. This provision would require federal contractors to hire U.S. citizens before foreign workers, even legal immigrants. It includes penalties for outsourcing and incentives for companies to bring jobs back home. Supporters say it protects American labor. Critics warn of international retaliation and reduced diversity in the workplace. Provision number 14. End to ESG investing in federal pensions. Trump's bill bans federal pension funds from investing based on environmental, social, or governance (ESG) factors, labeling them woke politics over profits. It's a direct shot at climate-conscious investing, and Wall Street is watching closely. Provision number 15. National Guard border deployment. States would be allowed, even encouraged, to deploy their National Guard units to protect the southern border. With full federal reimbursement, it's being framed as state-powered security. Critics say it's unnecessary militarization. Provision number 16. Digital dollar moratorium. Trump wants to block the Federal Reserve from creating a central bank digital currency (CBDC), claiming it's a threat to personal freedom and financial privacy. Crypto fans cheer. Economists are divided. Provision number 17. Federal term limits amendment. And finally, perhaps the most ambitious of all, a proposed constitutional amendment to limit Congress members to 12 years in office. A popular idea among voters, but a nightmare for career politicians. There you have it. 17 provisions, 1 bill, and a nation split down the middle. Trump calls it bold leadership. His opponents call it political overreach. But now, the decision shifts to Congress and to the American people. What do you think? Is Trump's big beautiful bill the solution America needs, or a dangerous power grab in disguise? On screen, text, comment below. Like, subscribe, and stay informed.